So what is this gray and white monstrosity behind me? Some Seawolves say it's an airplane hangar, some say it's a space station, but to be honest, most Seawolves have no idea what it is, even though construction started in 2020. So we're gonna find out. Come take a look inside. Harriman Hall. It's one of the oldest buildings on campus, named after the governor who first launched Stony Brook back in 1957. Sorry to say, it's one of the ugliest buildings here too.
They made the mistake of letting me back in the booth, but I couldn't think of anybody else I'd rather be sharing it with.
Exactly right. We just snuck back up here for game 2, so
I put on a suit and I just walked right in. I couldn't believe it.
Be sure to get your Super Bowl boxes in, prep the snacks, and maybe even place a few bets if you're of age. I know I'll be cheering on the Bengals, and I might put a few bucks on them too. Who do you have, Ray?
However, there is an alternative, and it's becoming wildly popular, at least on this campus. And it also makes an independent entrepreneur a few extra bucks. It's called Cha Time Tea, with the word cha coming from the Chinese word for tea. And I think I'll try some. That's pretty good. Julia, how about I bring it back some?
No thanks, Jake. I already made myself a cup at home. But Jake, I have a question for you. Does Cha Time Tea have as much caffeine as coffee does?
Well, I asked just that. And they do have some teas that have the same amount of caffeine, those being green tea and black tea. So if you're looking for that early morning or afternoon pick-me-up, this is the perfect place to go. Back to you, Julia.
Stony Brook's president, Maury McGinnis, requested that America East reinstate our student athletes for conference playoffs. As far as this report is concerned, the president can request, but the students, we need to demand. But at what cost? Children like Artem, just 2, has shrapnel wounds in his stomach. More children are being evacuated, and unfortunately, there's more of this to come. Seeing this all on our media is hard to believe, and this is the first war I've ever seen, and boy, we're seeing a lot. But not everything. So joining me to offer some context and perspective is our very own Irina Avanyuk, who's from Ukraine. And where exactly are you from?
Jake Basile here alongside Sam Eisenberg, forward for the Long Island national ball hockey team. Sam, your team goes down in both of these games, come back and win. You're the guy that scored the goals to tie it up. How important is it to get your team right back in the game?
It's something we've seen a few times this season. The Thunder go into the third period in those close game matchups, and they kind of let it slip away. I want the Thunder to get back to what I saw last weekend out of them. They went down in each of those 3 games against Port Huron, came out on top in 2 of them.
Well, here we are, inside the Stony Brook Indoor Athletic Complex. Football, soccer, lacrosse, they all come to practice here. And hey, I've come to practice here too. How was that?